Hello, this is Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech number 209. We're going over 20 amazing Commander cards today. This is two full top 10 lists. One of them is a budget top 10 list, cards that I think are really underpriced and underplayed in Commander. The other one is a no holds barred, the most powerful green Commander cards out there. Let's jump right into these 20 great cards. In the number 10 spot here of the No Holds Barred list, I've got Beast Within. Beast Within could have made the budget list until recently. It has started to go up in value because of its playability in Modern. It is an incredibly powerful card because of how versatile it is. You can hit someone's utility land, you can hit someone's creatures, you can hit their artifacts or enchantments. Having targeted removal in green is very tough to find, and this just has a great flavor for green targeted removal. It gives that person a 3/3 beast. Sometimes you may even hit your own permanents to get a blocker to save yourself. Wonderful card. The number 9 spot here, I've got Sylvan Library. Sylvan Library has made other people's number 1. It is one of the most powerful cards in any format out there. It's a powerhouse in Legacy, and it's even stronger in EDH, where you have 40 life instead of 20. Taking that 4 life matters very little. The reason it didn't make the top of this list, though, is it really feels like a black card. It was created back in the time of Legends, and the color identities were a lot more loose or up for grabs at that point, so it really feels like a black card, but it's so important in green to have card drawing that it makes this list on pure power alone. In the number 8 spot here, I've got Natural Order. Natural Order allows you to take any small creature that you have, like a mana dork on turn 3, and turn it into a giant powerhouse like Worldspine Worm. This card just skips over the need for ramp, and it allows you to accelerate the game so quickly. You put a threat into place that your opponent needs to deal with right away. Incredibly cool card, very nice artwork from Therese Nielsen. Great addition to any EDH deck. The number 7 spot here, I've got Oracle of Muldaya, which is really a stand-in for what green does best, which is ramp. There are so many good ramp spells in green. You can get yourself from 2 mana up to that 7 or 8 mana in just a matter of 3 turns. You can skip through several different areas in your curve to get up to higher casting cost spells. Mana Reflection is very popular currently, and Seaborn Muse is pretty much broken. Just an incredibly powerful card that will let you win the game all by itself. Skyshroud Claim is one of my favorite pieces of ramp because the forests that you get come into play untapped, so you can continue to put out more cards that turn. In the number 6 spot here, I've got Avenger of Zendikar. In green, you need some large creatures that are win conditions, and Avenger doesn't just give you 1 win condition, it gives you 10 or 20 win conditions depending on the number of lands that you have out. When combined with a deck that ramps after this, those plants become giant really quickly. The number 5 spot here, I've got Garruk. My personal favorite is Garruk, Caller of Beasts. At 6 casting costs, he gives you a way to draw more cards and also skip paying the casting costs on those really big cards. The emblem is also backbreakingly powerful. Garruk Wildspeaker is probably the best of these for quick, aggressive decks, and Primal Hunter is wonderful for more casual decks. He has a great win condition at the -6, giving you 6/6 worms for each of your land in play. The number 5 spot here, I've got Doubling Season. Doubling Season is one of those cards that was created before Planeswalkers that has substantially impacted the way that Planeswalkers were designed for a period of time. Planeswalkers can often ultimate the turn that a Doubling Season is out. The Doubling Season doubles the amount of counters on them. When combined with a commander like Reese the Redeemed, you can go crazy with the number of tokens, and when playing with cards like the very popular Contagion engine that uses -1/-1 counters. Those counters double also. Doubling Season is just an incredibly powerful green card. Survival of the Fittest is another wonderful card. It is a demonic tutor for creatures that's reusable every turn. Massively overpowered card, wonderful in green as it only goes and gets creatures. Even the fixed version Fauna Shaman is extremely powerful in her own right. The number 2 spot here, I've got Gaius Cradle. Gaius Cradle triggers off of the number of creatures you have in play. This one land can produce 5 or 10 mana very easily by itself. As a budget alternative, Nykthos Shrine to Nyx is extremely good. I don't believe it's going to be a budget alternative very long. It's seeing a lot of play currently, both in Modern and in Standard, and could easily be a $20 card, where it's a $5 card currently. I also want to mention Yavimaya Hollows here. It is nowhere near as splashy as Gaius Cradle or Shrine to Nyx, but it is extremely useful in living through board wipes, a wonderful way to keep your best creature alive. It's another reserve list card also, well worth watching for value. In the number 1 spot here, I've got Court of Calling, and it's just because there are so many great green creatures. I wanted to point out one more wonderful tutor and talk about a few of the green creatures that didn't make this list but easily could have. Acidic Slime at instant speed is just a monster. Not only are you destroying an artifact, enchantment, or land, but the death touch is very relevant at instant speed. Brawn is another wonderful way to get your army through when the board has been clogged up. Eternal Witness allows you to return all of these great cards we've seen on this list, and Genesis allows you to return a card every single turn. It's really the big brother to Eternal Witness. Court of Calling is extremely inexpensive right now because it was in M15, and it could easily be double or triple in price in another year. I would pick them up now. On to the budget list, we've got some great cards here that are all below $5. Krosan Grip helps you deal with those blue players and kill artifacts or enchantments. Split Second is a wonderfully powerful ability that people just don't expect. The number 9 spot here, I've got Genesis Hydra. Genesis Hydra gives you a giant Hydra along with the best of the next X cards in your deck. Wonderful card, extremely inexpensive right now because it was a promo. It's about $1.50. In the number 8 spot here, we've got Scavenging Ooze. This card was printed very heavily originally in Commander, and then in M14 and as an M14 promo. It is still at about that $5 to $6 range and has not taken off in price yet. Now is the time to pick it up. It's essential to have some type of graveyard hate in your Commander decks, and Scavenging Ooze gives you a solid body, a way to gain life, and extremely versatile graveyard hate all in one. The number 7 spot here, I've got my favorite artifact removal and then kind of the community's favorite here. Moulder Slug is my personal favorite. It can kill an artifact every single turn. It can hamper artifact decks and keep the game fair. Bane of Progress is a lot flashier. It destroys all artifacts and enchantments and gets +1/+1 counters for each one destroyed. The number 6 spot here, I've got Birthing Pod. I believe a lot of people have forgotten how useful this card is in EDH. It's dropped down to the very low level of $3 because it was banned in Modern. Every time they try to fix Survival of the Fittest, the card is broken, and Birthing Pod is no exception. Building in a useful curve that allows you to use Birthing Pod effectively at any point in the game is a skill, but once you have mastered that skill, your EDH decks will get much stronger with the inclusion of Birthing Pod. The number 5 spot here, I've got Soul of the Harvest. Green is short on card draw and can often ramp, but then only have a single threat. Soul of the Harvest allows you to chain multiple threats, putting out another creature followed by another creature and continuing to draw cards. You need a way to get more gas, and for 50 cents, Soul of the Harvest is the way to do that. In the number 4 spot here, I've got a card that is not only ramp, but helps keep you alive in Wall of Roots. It's a 2 casting cost wall that pays for itself in mana after 2 turns, can help you prevent early damage, and is a wonderful target for something like Birthing Pod that is going to allow you to get up to the next level to 3 casters and then to 4 casters. Yavimaya Elder is on here as a personal favorite. This is an auto include in almost any green deck. It's card advantage. It helps you make sure that you're making your land drops, and it's a wonderful chump blocker. The number 2 spot here, I've got Boundless Realms. This card doubles the amount of land that you have in play. For every land you've got in play, you go get a basic land and put it into play, tapped. I have not played this card and not done extremely well afterwards. Having almost infinite mana after casting this allows you to have a crazy turn every turn after casting Boundless Realms. The number 1 spot here, I've got a very defensive card. It's Spike Weaver. This is a classic card. It allows you to remove a +1/+1 counter to Fog. The political power that you have with a Fog on a stick is incredible. You're able to save other people's lives, get them to do your bidding, and protect yourself. This guy is also very difficult to remove from the game. Trying to Swords to Plowshare him or any other targeted removal doesn't exile him because you can quickly remove all the counters and drop him into your graveyard and then use something like Genesis to bring him back. You can recur him to keep the board state static until you're able to come up with a win condition. This guy is less than $2. I have no idea why. I don't think people realize how powerful it is to control when people get to attack. Wonderful card in Spike Weaver. Definitely check it out. Thank you guys for checking out the video. Please destroy that subscribe button. I'd appreciate another follower here on the channel. Thank you to everybody who's over there on Patreon. We've got patron pack openings coming later this week and a speculation video for July.